I'm hearing the tables have turned, and I feel like the tables have turned because you've gone within rather than outward to seek approval. I feel like maybe you call back your power rather than draining your energy or allowing someone to continue to take from you. I'm hearing the tables have turned, and I have a feeling that you set sight on a new course, right? You decided to cut ties, cut energetic cords, apply for that new job, go move to that different city. There's something you did that is creating internal shifts within you, and that could be rocking foundations with like having this ripple effect to other people who were using you as an energetic resource. If you had some sort of power play and you just said, I'm not playing into those games, their energy is now receiving some sort of shift. They're being forced to turn in. If you had, somebody that you're constantly beefing up their ego and you just like decided you're not going to play that way, they're now having to look at themselves because they don't have the same source of supply. Um, some messages are coming through. Again, tables have turned. I'm also getting tectonic plates. I got this before, and I didn't really like look it up because but what they gave me is foundational shifts. Red Sparrow and Under Surveillance came up. So this could be monitoring spirits. There could be something in either one of those movies for you. I feel like this is about keen observation. I feel like someone could have been observing you. This could be a positive thing. Someone could, notice you in the workplace and want to give you a promotion. It could be something like that. This can also, again, be something like monitoring spirits or an ex driving by your house. Only take that as it resonates. So it's not meant to like bring paranoia. It's more of like confirmation if you're feeling it. And what I get from that is like they're losing grip on their reality because they sourced you for supply, for their own ego, sourced you for supply for external validation, and without that they're losing grip, and like the only sense of power they have is just to see your car in the parking lot or hope to get a glimpse of you walking by. Maybe they're trying to confirm their paranoid delusions that maybe you're with someone, not realizing like, yeah, I'm herming it out. It could be any number of those things. So I just think take a mindful approach. This could also be you're someone in the spotlight. You might have one of those jobs that, is kind of high profile to where like you can't go anywhere without people seeing you. So, only take that as it resonates, not meant to cause any fear. The main message that was coming through was your emotion, this emotional enmeshment, emotional immersion. And they're saying that you have to like immerse yourself in the feelings in order to it wasn't really they were showing me as a transmute it was more to like to level up or level out of a stage, journey, or cycle. They were showing it to me as someone kind of like in this tube, and it was like, what are the emotions coming up? And you actually had to take those emotions in, and as soon as you were completely covered in those emotions, you shot up, like you went up out of that situation, but you had to feel and embody them first. So there's something about what your emotions have to teach you in this idea that you can't run from them in order to move on from a situation. I'm hearing right now, you can run, but you can't hide. This can also be taken another way, that someone can be projecting emotions onto you. And so this is where I think under surveillance, they're like, maybe someone is throwing some shade your way. Someone is doing some sort of meddling in your energetic field, and they're trying to see if it worked. And they're probably blindsided because they're like, she leveled up, they leveled up, they didn't get down, right? You're not down and out. Again, they could have met you on your off season. And so their old bag of tricks aren't working now that you've leveled up. But if someone is projecting emotions and attempts to hinder you, one, they will get their karmic. You will receive karmic justice. There would be a karmic balancing of the scales. And the sad part about someone actually doing this spell work, binding work, whatever it is, however you want to frame it, they're doing black magic. not only are they cursing themselves in this lifetime, they send a wave of negativity through their blood lineage. So by cursing you, they're cursing their daughters, their kin. So I don't think that the realization of what they've done has or will hit them quite yet. Just whatever might be coming up in the reality, because they know what they are doing as far as doing spell work, they think you're causing the backlash they're seeing in their life. This is like that person that is like so fixated on you cheating when you're not, is because they're a cheater. It's something like that. You know what I'm saying? Only take it if it resonates. What they're telling me with this, someone projecting wounds or emotions onto you, or using wounds to weaponize and gain control and access to you, is that as you heal these wounds, it closes out access, you know, that you begin to remove the blind spots that they can have used as a gateway to you. So again, the tables have turned. It feels like this energy of like fucking flipping the table over and be like, I don't know. Again, I want you to take over resonates. I feel like you've gotten out of a cycle. I feel like you've gotten out of the cycle, and like you're tuned in to new blessings. Maybe time to go hug a tree. I don't know. I love these trees in this backyard. I feel like they speak to me. So there could be something in nature that's meant for you to connect to. Maybe it's also noticing, like, it could be like the timetables of a tree's growth, and respecting the timetable of the lifetimes of growth that, and the elevation you're receiving now, like an appreciation for that. This is similar, this idea of like, not every tree grows to be something huge and magnificent, right? Sometimes as meadows, they're cut down, so they never fully, you never appreciate how long it takes to get to become this beautiful tree. It was similar to like when the turtles' eggs are hatching and they have to get to the water, and not all of them make it. I mean, it's sad but true, but it's like, I must be talking to a feminine, because it's coming up that way. They're like, girl, you made it. Like, you made it to the other side. Freedom Trail, my 10 of materials. So there's some sort of abundance and support. Look at that. I think this is your ancestral support. I do feel like if you ask for it, you will receive upgrades to your guide team, like new security detail in your energetic field. Closing out a cycle. One door closes, another opens. The world is your oyster. And that grit of sand, that irritant, that person poking in your energy field, again under surveillance, is creating a pearl of wisdom for you. So we're maybe clutching their pearls, something like that. This one influencer I like to listen to, he's got solid like feedback and understanding of the political arena, but I really like it when he wears pearls. And materials, I think this is really just what was hidden. Why they're bringing up under surveillance of red sparrows, what was hidden is now, like if you were cast aside, you're now put in the spotlight. Loopers, if you were in some sort of cycle of injustice, you brought down the house. There's something here, some sort of shift, something that someone tried to do, some sort of fuckery, some sort of injustice. You're embarking on a new territory by stopping these people in their tracks, or whatever they're doing. You have put an end to a cycle. And they used your heart and your empathy to do that. How cold and calculated someone had to be to use your heart against you. You're just for their own personal gain, the sense of power, so that they could redirect their attention on you. They didn't have to look within themselves. Crows, birds, the winged ones, could be speaking to you. I'm hearing it's really this time for a change, and this is just like redirecting of resources and energy. So again, if you get that promotion, that new job, moving, there's something that's going to continue to allow your energy to elevate. And like this kind of like eyes open or cleaning your glasses or the windshield is just the beginning, because you're healing. No projections are going to work against you. Maybe you stayed silent until you like, but for sure, 10 emotions for your happiness. You know what it takes to make you happy. You're choosing to protect your peace, and sometimes protecting your peace means I'm gonna fight for that shit. It's like, ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no to keep me away from you. So somebody could be like going the distance for you, and then also you going the distance for yourself. Oh my gosh, I'm seeing like somebody like get their stuff together and like run after you and be like, wait up, I'm coming too. When this feels like a good energy, this is a different energy than what I was speaking about earlier. Queen of Inspiration, you could be inspiring others. I feel like there's something about your heartstrings, could be guitars, could also be like different practices have a different name for it, but that like golden chain from above, or who you're connected to from above. They want me to speak to tectonic plates some more, and it's the second time it's come up, like recently, I want to say in the last month. Maybe it's part of that ripple effect, that you're part of this foundational agreement in the cosmos that is creating waves of change. How about them? How about them apples? I don't know. Sometimes stuff come out of my mouth, I'm like, what? You're worth celebrating. All parts of you. All parts of you. I had to be patient, or patience is required at this time with the choices that you are now being aligned to. So it's like you could feel some blessings coming in, but they're not there yet. It's like you know like your pay schedule at work, but it's not in the bank account yet. Something like that. Emotions are running high. And maybe you've learned to like, maybe someone was stonewalling you. I did have that recently. Like, I tried to just be straight up about something, and they just stonewall me. And that's kind of like a pattern with this individual. Like, when they're not getting their way, if I address the elephant in the room, if I don't allow that person to just manipulate and play and just like play along, they stonewall. And there's been like a time or two we just sit on the phone for a couple minutes in silence, and then I'm like, okay, I can get off the phone now. I'm glad I see it, but at the same time, it's like, sun. Some seeds are planted, the sun. Shirley Temple, the sun will come out tomorrow. I'm seeing her face in black and white. That cute smile and those curls. Take that as it resonates. Temperance. Maybe you've had to temper your emotions, right? Or maybe someone was unable to temper their emotions. Maybe someone else. These are the choices that you've got in front of you. All right. The divine said no more. No more. The divine stepped in and took off the blindfold that someone put on you. The divine stepped in and rewired your system so that those energetic cores weren't coming, like you weren't tethered to these karmic conditions, and said, I got you. And so you're now like, you could have had a new spiritual alignment. It's not the word, sorry if you hear myself growling. Sometimes it just talks a lot. What is the word? I can't think of the word, but ascension is the closest thing I've got, but that isn't the word I was looking for. But someone tried to tether themselves to you using your emotional enmeshment. And they've had a tower moment because the divine intervened and took that whole game out of their playbook. And now they're kind of beside themselves because it's not something they can like straight up address, right? The game player got played. I'm hearing they never seen anything like it. So like again, it's like that Loopers movie, or maybe it is like Red Sparrow when she, you know, in the end. I don't want to spoil it for you, just in case. Sorry if I spoiled Loopers. There's been an injustice, and the divine said you had to go within to determine who was the devil, because there could have been like a wolf in sheep's clothing. There could have been someone smiling in your face with a knife behind your back. There could be someone, oh my. There's a period of time when I was laid up after surgery, I stayed with my mom because I wasn't allowed to, like, I was non-weight bearing and I kept falling. So it was like, sit down and stay put. And she was watching so many crime shows while she was doing her crafts. So it was like kind of the background, but the stories I would hear, like real crime shows, you know, with like people recounting it, you're just like, wow. And one came to mind recently. It's been a minute since the habit was like this woman was poisoning her daughter to make her daughter sick, because she was using her daughter's illness to like boost up some sort of persona, of this grandiose persona about herself. Aside from the illness that does her daughter, but it's like, I thought about like the husband, like, it's like whatever the divine revealed to you, something you needed to see, some sort of deception, some sort of quality about someone superseded the truth. And this isn't to say, oh, okay, another one. And this was me, this was my mother. I was watching the 60-minute show, and this man was doing like horrible things. And the interviewer said, like, how did you not know this was happening? And the interviewer also said that to the investigator, like, you know, you don't think she had any part or any knowledge? He's like, no, he did these things because she went out of town a lot for work. You know, so all this would happen mainly when he had like the property to himself. And then she also said, like, we had been sleeping in separate bedrooms for quite some time, you know? So there's something there about like a degree of separation, or not necessarily a willing participant in some sort of scandal, corruption, or manipulation. But the divine came in to say this is going to stop, right? So somebody slipped up somewhere. So with the Hermit card, don't feel like you're connected anymore. Let's see. To enhance the flow of inspiration, creativity, so the seeds you plant grow, or taking care of your plants, something. 45 826 9994 5789. So 45 space 826 space 9994 space 5789. So nurturing your creative gifts. King of Pentacles, managing your resources. So there might be some downloads that come in, and you're like, how am I going to make it happen? You're going to find a way. You're going to find a way. If it's time for a divorce and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to do it, you're going to find a way. You're going to meet the right people. You're going to find the right job. You're going to find the right house. You're going to figure out how to keep it on the down low. There's something you're going to figure out. You want to change that side hustle into a way of life. You're going to meet the right people that are going to align you to the right resources, to the right events, to, like, you're a problem solver here. You're going to tap into something and receive. restart button, Control Alt Delete, fresh start, and every time you use it, it can be used several times throughout the day. So a reminder, it can be done. 24, 27, 483, 24 space, 27 space, 483. All right, you are a star, guided from the stars. Gonna leave it here. Please only take what resonates. Sending you lots of love and light on your journey. Guard your peace.